What is the endpoint? Is a virtual device that allows the private connection between the virtual private cloud supported AWS services. Okay. Here, what is the endpoint? Is a virtual device that allows a private connection between the Amazon virtual private cloud and supported AWS services. The communication between the VPC and other AWS supported services will going to do by using the endpoint without using the internet. Without using the internet. Without previously, how the NAT gate is, how the private subnet accessed the internet? Suppose, how the accessed by using NAT gateway, private network using the private how the private network works. To access the internet, we use which one? NAT gateway. We use NAT gateway. Here, instead of not using here, so with the help of internet gateway, with the help of the NAT gateway, with the help of VPN, we have the direct connect. We can access the AWS resources. So there is a EC2 is there inside the VPC. I want to access this resources. It is mandated to have a internet. Internet can be provided in multiple ways like internet gateway, NAT gateway, and a VPN gateway. But thing here is direct. Without using internet, we can access to the resource. That is known as the endpoint. That is known as the endpoint. You understood? You don't need all this thing. You don't need keep traffic secure, and we don't need any public internet. Without public internet, we're going to access the AWS resources without using internet gateway, without using NAT devices, VPN. Okay, there are two types of endpoints are there. One is the gateway endpoint, second with the interface endpoint. Interface endpoint. Okay, I'll just show you that how it works. This lab is also big. Vachindanna? Okay. Here I have one VPC is there. This is the VPC. Having a IP address range is 10.0.0./60. Inside this, I have two subnets. I have two subnets. This is the public subnet. This is the public subnet. And this one is the private. What is that? This is the private. Got it? This is the private. And this IP address is 10.0.0./24. And this IP address is 10.1.0./24. 1.0.24. It is connected to internet gateway. Now, this is connected to internet gateway. This subnet is connected to internet gateway. We can access any resources because it is having internet. But this private network doesn't have an internet gateway. Okay. Previous class and previous video, we had explained about the NAT gateway. To access the internet, we need a NAT gateway. But without using internet gateway and without using NAT gateway, I can access the resources securely through called VPC endpoint. VPC what? VPC endpoint. Securely, we can create the VPC endpoint. You understood? You understood now? Okay. So I want to access S3. Generally, from this network, I want to access S3. It is mandated to have a internet. Without internet, how can I access the S3 from this EC2? There is EC2 there inside a VPC. This EC2 want to access a service called S3. Then mandatory have internet. Without internet, how can I access? Suppose local computer also Windows. We have practiced that without internet we can access the S3 bucket. No. Okay. Okay. So the private network you don't have internet, but without using internet, without using internet gateway, NAT gateway, AWS itself provides an endpoint. With the help of the endpoint, we can access the AWS services. That is known as the VPC endpoint. Okay. If you create a AWS endpoint, if it is the network is then private, still we can access the AWS resources. Okay, the infrastructure is taken care by the AWS. Got it? Now I'm going to two types of endpoints are there. One is the interface endpoint and a gateway endpoint. Here, the gateway endpoint can support only two services, three services. One is Amazon S3, second one is Amazon DynamoDB, and third one is the S3 Express. Whereas this interface endpoint will support around 100 plus interfaces. 100 plus interfaces. Understood? Now I'm going to do the practical. Going to do the practical. Here, First, I'm going to log into the console. Okay. First, I'm going to log into the console. We do the practical for the VPC endpoint. VPC endpoint. Just log into the console. So NAT gate వచ్చిందనా?
వచ్చింది సార్.
ఓకే. రెండు వచ్చాయా? మీకండి?
సార్ వచ్చింది సార్. వినబడుతుంది సార్ ఫోన్ వాయిస్.
మీరు వినిపించట్లేదండి. మీదేదో మీరు ఏం పెట్టుకున్నారా కానీ మీరు ఏం చెప్పిందో నాకు వినిపించట్లేదు. మీ వాయిస్ వినిపించట్లేదు.
పెట్టుకున్నాను సార్. అది హెడ్సెట్ బ్లూటూత్ పెడితే పనిచేస్తుంది, మామూలు హెడ్సెట్ పెడితే ప్రాబ్లం వస్తుంది. అదే చెక్ చేస్తాను.
మీరు చెక్ చేసుకోవాలి, క్లాస్ అప్పుడు చెక్ చేయకూడదు కదా. అది
ఇది ఓన్లీ గూగుల్ మీట్ లో ప్రాబ్లం వస్తుంది సార్. మిగతా దాంట్లో పనిచేస్తుంది.
ఎనేబుల్ చేయలేము చూడండి, ఏదైనా ఆప్షన్ ఉంటుంది సెట్టింగ్స్ లో.
చూస్తాను సార్. అది
వాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్ హియర్? ఐ యామ్ గెటింగ్ ఎర్రర్ హియర్.
నాట్ గేట్ వచ్చింది సార్. చూసాను సార్. ఇంకా క్లియరింగ్ చేయాలి సార్. VPC క్లియరింగ్ పెండింగ్ చేస్తాను.
Now I'm going to do the endpoint. For doing the endpoint, we're going to create a VPC and we're going to create two subnets. One is the public subnet, second is the private subnet. In this inside public subnet, we're going to create one EC2 in the public, another EC2 in the private. Okay, and this is without having internet, we're going to access by using the endpoint. We're going to access the S3. We're going to access the S3. Got it? Now I log into this one. I go to the VPC. Now go to the VPC. Here, first I'm going to create a VPC. Then we're going to create two subnets. One is the public subnet, second is the private subnet. Here, go to the VPC. Here, click on the VPC. Click on the create VPC. I'm just giving the name as a endpoint VPC. You can give any name. I'm giving the name as endpoint VPC. And a header block, I'll just giving here 10.0.0.0.0/16. Okay, now I'm going to create a VPC. Now create a VPC and then go to the subnet. Go to the subnet. Create a subnet. Endpoint VPC. That is the end public. End public hyphen subnet. In this one, I'll just give the IP address as 10.0.0 and the 0.0. If you learn one cloud, then easily learn other clouds. Not issue at all. Okay. Now created a subnet. Okay. Now again I create another subnet. Again I created subnet. See here. Create another subnet. Here I create another subnet. The endpoint end hyphen private. Okay, I create another subnet. Okay, I create another subnet and I add the this one. Okay, this one. That is 10.0.1.0. Slash 20. Slash 24. Now created another subnet. After creating subnet, we're going to create a route table. Here I create a route table. One route is the public route. One is the one route is the end hyphen public hyphen route. Okay. So these are the VPC, endpoint VPC, create a root table. Now created. Then again go to the root table. Again we'll create another root table. Here private minus end subnet. Okay, subnet. Okay, reverse it's some problem. Now corrected two root tables. Then what? Go to the internet gateway. Click internet gateway. Click on the internet gateway. Create internet gateway. So in this one, I'll just give the name as a public end IGW. Then create internet gateway. After that, attach to the VPC. Attach to the VPC. Now done. The next step is this subnets and internet gateway is attached. Go to the route table here. Select the public route. Click on the edit subnet association. Select the public subnet with the public route. Associate the public route with the public subnet. Again, go to the other route. Go to the other route. Right click here. Edit subnet association. Associate with the endpoint subnet node. Done. Then after that, we need to add the route table. We need to add the route table for the internet gateway. Internet gateway. Here, go to the end public route. Right click here. Edit routes. Add route here 00, and we need to add the internet gateway. We need to add the internet gateway. Done. This one done. Done. Then this thing is done. Now go to the EC2. Before going to EC2, we need to create an AM role. We need to create an AM role and attach to the EC2 because I don't need any credentials. Without credentials, I want to connect. First, we need to create a role. Okay. Here, go to the AM policy. Go to the AM. Go to the AM. Create a role. How will you create a role? Madinagar, ela create just the role?
Sir,
Role. I'm asking role.
You need to create a new role now, sir.
Okay. Here, click on the role. Create a role. Not policy. Create role. AWS services. In this one, we need to select the service is the EC2 can access the S3. EC2 can access the S3. Next here. Which permission? EC2 can access the S3. Okay. I'm giving the role. Okay. Role is I am giving here endpoint Javed. Role name is endpoint Javed. Done. Now created a role. Now done. So the role I created, EC2 can access the S3. Okay, inside this VPC, EC2 can access the S3. Then go to the EC2. Here, go to the EC2 here. Click on the launch instance. Give the name as a public server. Then selected Amazon Linux Instant to Macro key pair. I will take the old key pair. Take the old key pair. Okay. The network setting, we need to change the VPC. So which VPC? Endpoint VPC. In this one, which subnet I need to take? Public subnet. Okay. In this one, auto assign IP address is enabled. Is the enabled. Got it? Auto assign IP address enabled. Now I just click on the launch instance. Okay. Launch instance. Here, I created a instance. This is a public server. Again, go to the launch instance. I'll give the name as a private. Game as a private. Then go to the Amazon Linux, click here and keep a name. Okay, done. Here I'll take the old keyboard. Take the old keyboard. Okay, done. Then here network setting. Which VPC I need to take here? Endpoint VPC. Subnet is this one. Auto inhibitor is disable. Then launch instance. Then launch. I created a private server also. Then and I going to attach the role to the private server. Which role? EC2 can access the S3. Okay. Okay. Understood. Because without credential, S3 can access because this one, this inside this private subnet, EC2 inside this private subnet, EC2 doesn't have any internet. It don't have any internet. Without internet, it will access the S3 with the help of the endpoint. You understood or not? Now we're going to connect to, before that, we're going to change the role. We're going to roll the role here. Here, right click here to change the role here. Previous set to security, go to the security. Modify AM role. In this one, I add the role. What is the role name is there? What is the role name is there? Previous endpoint Javed. What is the role name is there? Endpoint Javed. Okay, understood? Now updated a role. Updated role for which one? Private server. Got it? Now I'm going to connect to the public server. Go to the public server. Then go to the public server. Go to the connect here. Go to the SSH client. Copy the command. Go to the download folder. Right click here. Click on the git bash. Paste here. Now paste here. Okay. Type yes here. I log into root. Now there is no internet connectivity for the private server. There is no internet connectivity for the how will you connect the EC2 from this one, from the public instance? We're going to connect. Okay, how will you connect this one? First, we need to create a key pair to connect the private instance because it doesn't have internet. To connect the private instance, we're going to connect from the public. From this instance, we're going to connect the private instance. For this one, what we need to do? Inshallah. What we need to do? We need to create a key pair. We need to create a key pair. You got it? What? You need to create what?
A VI
Key
name.
pair. Here, just right click here. Then how will you create a key pair? VI followed by the paste. Then escape, then insert, then
Copy paste. RSA.
paste. Then escape, then colon WQ. Then escape, press escape. Then press type WQ. WQ means colon WQ means write and quit. Okay, done. Then we need to give the permission. What is the permission here? chmod 700. What is the keeper name?
Aditya Dava Garden.
Paste here. Enter. So now, how will you connect with the private instance? Go to the private server. Click on the connect option. I click copy this command. Copy this command. Then enter here. Now type yes here. Now successfully connected to the private instance. Successfully connected to the private instance. How will you access the AWS? How do you access the bucket? By typing the command. Which command? AWS S3 LS. Shall we get the bucket? Why we don't get any buckets? Because of we don't have internet. In this instance, you don't have an internet. You can't access any resource. You understood? Suppose you want to, suppose this instance wants to access the internet, access the S3 bucket, we need either internet gateway, NAT gateway, or VPN gateway. I don't want to use all this thing. I want to securely connect it to AWS network only. Then you go for which one? AWS Endpoint. AWS Endpoint. Again, go to the VPC here. Again, go to the VPC here. Here one option is there, endpoint. Having there. Click on the endpoint here. Create endpoint here. Give the name endpoint, any name, like I'm just giving the endpoint Java, my name. Okay, I want to select AWS services. There are multiple types of endpoints are there. Okay, two types of endpoint is there. One is the gateway endpoint, and the second one is the what?
Interface.
What?
Interface.
Interface endpoint. These are service names. This is the type of the endpoint. Which type of the endpoint I want to connect? Either I can use interface, either I can use gateway. Gateway endpoint can access S3, S3 Express, and DynamoDB. Whereas interface endpoint can access AWS 100+ services. I selected gateway endpoint. Okay. Which service you want to access? Which service you want to access?
S3.
Yes.
Which service you want to access? Which service? S3. Which service I can access? S3. Which VPC is there? Endpoint VPC. In the additional setting, there is a, we need to select both this route table. Both this route table, private and a public subnet. Done? Done? Then I'll give the create endpoint. Create endpoint. Now, if you check here, now what happens? What happens?
అవి S3 లో ఉన్నవన్నీ బకెట్ వచ్చి
Bucket na kavala. Instance, here instance is there. I want to access the instance. Instance wants to access the bucket. Then what happens here? So without internet, by using the AWS endpoint, I accessed the S3. You got my point? Okay, Gada?
ఓకే సార్.
Now move to the other topic. Now move to the other topic. Here we're going to move to the other topic that is called database. Called as a database. So what is the database? Database is nothing but a collection of the data. Collection of data. To understand, to maintain the data, we use the, to understand or to maintain the data. Okay. To understand, to maintain data, we need a database. We need a database. Okay. Here, the database can be created in two ways. Database can be created in the two ways. One way is the manually you're going to create. Only create. ఏం చేయొచ్చు మనం
మాన్యువల్లీ
మాన్యువల్ గా డేటాబేస్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే AWS క్రియేట్ చేస్తుంది ఏంది డేటాబేస్. దీన్ని డేటాబేస్. సో డేటాబేస్ ఎలా క్రియేట్ అవుతుంది? మాన్యువల్ గా మనమే EC2 క్రియేట్ చేసుకొని, ఓకే, stop the recording.